Hi, We Time audience. Welcome to our We Time show. This is a new addition to our We Time Convo podcast. I'm Debbie, and here's my co-host, Liza.
Hello. So, Debbie, this is weird.
It is a little bit.
This is weird. This is our first show, like live recording ever. So we're used to just sitting down, maybe in sweats, no makeup, just talking to each other because you obviously can't see us.
Yes, and so we really made an effort today.
Threw on some makeup.
First, I want to say congratulations to us. We hit our 1 year on We Time Convo. Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
I am super excited. Liza and I, when we got into this, we didn't really know where we were going and just sharing the journey together. We are very excited that we've hit our 1 year mark, and we are branching out to now our We Time show where we can share experiences, not just us as a mom, but us as individuals.
Yeah, it's just always great to have a visual.
Some of the great content that we'd like to share during the upcoming year would be dining in the Bay Area, which I enjoy doing, and Liza, I'm sure you do as well.
Activities as us moms like to do outside of having
Like kids.
We have a life outside of our kids. Our kids are older now.
Yes.
Just our friend group, and then maybe a dating show. Maybe I'll finally find love this year, next year. I don't know. We'll see. So Irene has all these wild ideas.
Yes, ideas. So one of the things that we did during our creative session was talking about maybe a We Time can cook, and that's with me.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about doing that.
We'll see. This is a season of growth for both of us, for sure.
Yes.
We'll both learn things. And if you've listened to the podcast from the beginning, Debbie has put out there that she just loves to DoorDash. Her and Peter have hot pot like 3 times a week. She obviously does not cook. So I think I have faith in you, Debbie.
Yes. Well, that's great because my husband does not.
Yeah. I mean, if Irene can have faith that we can last a year in this podcast, do a YouTube or video and have it out on YouTube, I have faith in you.
Okay, well, Thank you. I appreciate that, and I look forward to sharing those experiences with you guys.
Yeah. And another big one is we are actually going to have a graphic novelist, eahn. He's an environmental justice attorney in the Bay Area, and we are going to have a live recording / book signing with Eddie. Book signing is going to happen September 8th, 1 o'clock, Books Inc. in the Pruneyard in Campbell. And we keep saying Irene's name, so just in case you don't know who Irene is our producer,
Creative director.
Yeah. So we're really excited for Eddie. September 8th, 1 o'clock, you can meet us and you can meet Eddie and know more about his story while we ask questions and get your book signed. But it actually is an amazing book. Just hearing his story of how he overcame starting a nonprofit or being in a nonprofit and through COVID, through all the fires that we had, and just keeping the positivity up. So, and it's great to just have somebody from the Bay Area, like well known, just to put him out there, and we got to represent.
Yes. And actually, that's what I'm looking forward to in regards to not just our podcast, but in regards to our content when we think about our experiences, putting up our videos. I'd love to share that just because there's some really great places in the Bay Area that I would just love to share with all you folks out there. So definitely looking forward to that.
Bay Area is big. The Bay Area is huge.
Yes.
There's things everywhere. So many places to experience, eat. Like, I've lived here forever and I haven't gone to every single part of the Bay Area.
Well, I haven't even gone to Winchester Mystery House.
I haven't either. That should actually be that's Irene. Mark that down. Winchester Mystery House.
October.
Yeah, and there's so many things. So yeah, we should go.
Yes, so I would love to share that with you, not just for the Bay Area, but the experiences even outside. So Liza, I know, for example, this past summer, you and our creative director, Irene, went out to Europe. So can you share with me a little bit about that?
So Irene had this wild idea. December.
And it was wild. Yeah. By the way, it was wild. Because when she proposed it to us, I think me and Liza looked at her like, okay, like that was not on our radar at
Yes.
all.
Yes.
And like the last time I traveled to Europe was probably like 20 years ago. And Liza, before this, you've never traveled to Europe, right?
No. No.
So when Irene, who again always comes up with these like wild ideas, at least for us it's wild because it just never pops up.
Yeah.
I think both you and I were like, okay, you want us to go to Europe. And I think even more so with you because you're like, I don't even know if like I have a valid passport to go.
Yeah, I mean, why? There's no reason. So we had an episode in December, just kind of closing out the year. And I think one of the things was Irene was like, you know, we should take Time Convo to Paris. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. Like, okay, Irene. And I kind of just brushed it off. I'm like, okay. But, you know, she bought the tickets. She started planning. And I'm like, okay, so there's no turning back. Yeah, I got to go. I got to get my passport. But Europe was amazing. We do have a podcast about how the trip was. But bottom line, it was amazing. It was the most eye-opening experience I've ever had in my life, coming from somebody that's always lived here in California in the Bay Area. And then I think we'll also have a short YouTube video coming out, kind of just talking more about Europe, because in one episode, there's just so much to talk about.
Yes. Now, you also brought your daughter.
Yeah. So I brought my 16-year-old daughter, Ava, who's never traveled either. And she just had the best time. And it was just such a wonderful bonding experience for us. And hopefully you can join us next time.
I would love to. I would love to. Yeah. It was a little bit of a challenge for me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join you guys at that Europe trip, but that is just one of many as we look forward to the future and kind of seeing what else we have going on and what else we can do to share with you guys, our listeners.
Let's see what comes out of Irene's head.
Exactly.
So speaking of my summer.
Yes.
It is summer. We're in August.
Yes.
We are taking a break from podcast releasing. So we're doing these videos now.
Yes.
Which will come out during August. So you'll still see us. You'll still see our beautiful faces and hear our voices.
And I thought it was a great transition because a video channel as well as a podcast, I think it would have been a little daunting for at least me because the podcast was actually super new for me.
Yeah.
So I like how we're layering in another channel for us to connect with our listeners. It's great. The podcast you can kind of throw in and listen to when you're on your way to work or running an errand. But then the YouTube channel or the video channel, because it'll be not just on not just on YouTube, but that's another great way to connect just because you get to see our faces and our expressions. So and see the wonderful content that we're all able to share with you, and you guys can see that.
Yes.
Because sometimes, you know, people are visual people.
Yeah. Exactly. So speaking of summer.
Yes.
Speaking of Europe.
Yes.
Olympics is a big thing.
I know. Have you been watching?
I watched the Olympics through the years here and there. I've never really been interested in it. But this year specifically, I was very interested in it and really excited to see it because I was just in Paris.
Yes.
And here, in case you guys are living under a rock, the Olympics is being held in Paris, the Summer Olympics. Yes. So I made a point to watch the opening ceremony, which I was super excited. Did you watch the opening ceremony?
I did not.
Okay, so I sat and I watched the whole thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so the premise of it is there is this guy running around with this torch and he looks like Darth Vader. I don't know. He has this mask on. He looks like some sort of villain. And as he's running around with this torch, he's running all around Paris. Like he's running through the Louvre. He's running through Eiffel Tower. Like just running through all the Paris like monuments. There's so many things going on in the background. Lady Gaga performed in the middle of it.
Wow.
Yes, a lot of French bands and singers that I didn't really recognize. But the one that I really enjoyed was this French heavy metal band called Gojira. And they performed in a castle, which was amazing. It was a huge castle. And in the windows were headless Marie Antoinettes, and they were holding their heads.
Okay, sounds a little graphic.
Yeah, so very, like, they incorporated a lot of, like, French history, and there's opera singers. The boats with the different countries coming down the river. It just was, you know, towards the end, because I watched everything from A to Z, all the countries.
Wow, that is a
It was 4 hours long.
Yeah.
It was like a Taylor Swift concert. So you just watch and you think like, wow, these athletes have been training all their lives for this moment. To be here.
Yep.
And all these countries are coming together, and it just felt like I was in a small world, right? It's a small world at Disneyland.
Yes.
Because all the countries, and you're, on a boat, and you're just seeing everybody. But these people, like, literally were really happy, like cheerful.
So did you get kind of a little bit emotional?
I did. I got really, really emotional because this is just the event where all the countries just come together and support each other. But what really got to me at the end, where I got really emotional, was at the very end. Celine Dion started singing, and she's on the Eiffel Tower.
Oh wow!
But then you hear like she's been sick, and I haven't seen her in so long.
Yes.
And the way she sung, she was so powerful.
Yes.
And just so emotional.
Yes.
And I just lost it.
So it was just a. So you actually cried.
But I was at work too. My coworker was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh my God, Celine Dion." I don't think she's French. I think she's Canadian, but she's French Canadian. So she sang in French, and it was just amazing. And then it was raining. Everyone was drenched, but they were just still so happy.
That sounds pretty amazing. But I don't think I can sit for 4 hours on anything.
Yeah.
So I'll need to watch clips of kind of what you mentioned.
Yeah.
One of the things that popped in my head as you were talking about this is each country kind of has their own uniform, right? When they come in.
Yes.
So and I've heard through social media some preferences on who had like the best uniforms. Did you have any thoughts on any uniform that kind of stuck out to you?
So I haven't been on social media. I've been on a little social media break right now, just for my mental health, because there's always something mental going on with me. But
okay.
I did catch before the Olympics started.
Okay.
And I'm not saying this because I'm Filipino, but the Philippines, they had a really cool outfit.
Yeah.
It looked like it was like over the shoulder.
It was. Yeah. Yes. Didn't it look like armor?
Yes.
Right?
It looked like armor. It just looked really powerful, and it just made me so proud.
Yes.
Of Africa. Their outfits are always really beautiful and colorful. But yeah, I didn't really notice all the other ones.
So just even when I was young, I recall watching the Olympics, and I always enjoy watching the gymnastics piece. And so I did get to watch the all-around competition where Simone Biles won. And she's amazing.
When you see her face before she goes on, she's just like...
So she's
I'm in the Olympics.
Yeah. She's 27.
Yeah.
Which in general, when you think about gymnastics, most of them tend to be young. And so she's kind of on the older side. So there's 4 events that they do. And I was intently watching it, and she was very favored to get the gold medal. And I think on the second event, she actually dropped because she made a mistake. She was second by the time they went into the second half. And it's amazing how you could just see how she's experienced. I can only imagine the level of pressure and stress, and you can just tell the level of experience that this woman has. She's so powerful, and they talk about like the level of difficulty that she does is by far above all. And so even when she makes a mistake, she's still generally in the lead.
She's still like, I got this.
Yes.
Like, that's nothing.
Yes.
She must have like really strong mental capabilities.
I think you just have to.
Yeah. And so the one thing that I like watching when I watch the Olympics is the parents in the audience.
Yes.
Because they look so stressed out, so nervous. And can you imagine Violet's in gymnastics? She's 4. When I sit there and watch her, I'm nervous as hell. I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine having a kid in the Olympics?
I know. I know.
And I think it's,
I can't.
Yes. I mean, and also as a parent, it's just thinking like if they, just what they're thinking, what their kids are going through, how far they've gone. And if something were to happen, a minor, just like that, it's like heartbreaking.
Yes.
To you. Because they
work so hard.
They work so hard. They
Yes.
train so much.
Yes.
So I just like watching the parents like in the audience because they just look so stressed out. I'm like so nervous.
But it's wonderful to see the camaraderie with all of the people that are participating, all the athletes that are participating. You can just see that they're in their zone, but they're also very supportive of each other. And so
other countries too.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I can only imagine the level of stress that these athletes go through, but also to your point, their supportive system, they're watching. So that's a tremendous amount of stress and a tremendous amount of hard work.
Yeah. And I caught swimming. I caught the men swimming, which is amazing. Australia just kills it. I think it's because they live all around water. I mean, US was good.
Yes.
I did see Michael Phelps. I think he's retired, but he was there. But
I did catch some of the volleyball.
Oh, I didn't watch volleyball. Was it
Yeah.
good?
Beach as well as team. Yes, it was very entertaining for me. I'm enjoying little snippets of it, and very exciting. And like you said, it's wonderful because seeing a platform where people come together, different cultures, it's nice. It's nice to take a break from your kind of normal day-to-day life.
I mean, can you imagine if we were there during Olympics? Like, I would be surrounded by so many hot men.
Okay, back to her days. Back to her
thirst trap. So that's it for the Olympics. It's still going on. I've watched shooting, and I think there's still shooting going on. I'm very excited for the breakdancing only because I think it's a new sport. I like the skateboarding. So will you be watching more of any other things, or just?
I will. Like, what excites me about this is the opportunity that is out there, and not only that, but there's a lot of first of different countries, like the first gold medal for their country, or the first medal. Yes.
But there was also even a refugee boat that was there for just like different ethnicities or cultures that don't have a real place, but they still had the opportunity to participate, which I thought was amazing. And I was blown away by that as well, because it's like, okay, like you are including everybody, regardless if you are part of a country or not. Even making it into the Olympics is amazing. But yeah, Simone Biles, girl, get it.
Rock it.
Yeah, rock it. Philippines, love your outfit.
Rock it.
So summer.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you didn't get to make it to Europe with us.
No, I did not.
We really did miss you. But you still got to have a vacation.
I did. I had a family vacation. Yeah. Yes.
So you went to Hawaii, and this was a special trip because it was you, your husband Peter, your daughter Vanessa. Did Peter's kids go too?
Yes, it was their first time. It was their first time,
yeah.
So it was wonderful. And to tack it on, I brought 2 of my nephews to join us.
Oh, nice.
Just a little bit of background. Hawaii has been our destination for the last couple of years as a family. We take advantage of Vanessa, my daughter, who is generally off for about a week in October. And so the last couple of years, we've been taking her and her best friend, Daria. And it just unfortunately doesn't coincide with Peter's kids being off. Well, what we made a decision is going to Hawaii in the summer of this year and taking his kids. And so it was a full trip. We were out there for about a week. And
what island did you guys go to?
We went to Oahu.
Oahu. Okay.
Yeah, Oahu. So out of all the islands, Oahu tends to be kind of where we veer to because it really has everything. It's probably the most popular of the Hawaii islands. You usually stay on Waikiki. We really enjoy it because it allows all of us to have a little bit of freedom. The beach is literally right across the street from us.
So I've been to Hawaii once my whole life.
Yes.
Ava was 1, so it was 15 years ago. So it was Oahu. Yeah. We live in California. There's beaches everywhere. But the beach in Hawaii is different.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, when we're there, we were at the beach pretty much every single day. Also, because we've been there so frequently, I wanted to make sure that my stepchildren, Peter's children, would enjoy the time that they were there and they could see a good chunk of the island. So we ended up going to North Shore, having the experience of taking pictures that Chinaman had. We did some snorkeling at Sharks Cove. We did Waimea Beach, jumping off the rock.
Eat shrimp at Giovanni's Shrimp Truck.
Of course.
Yes.
So we did the shrimp truck thing.
Shave ice.
Shaved ice. We pretty much did it all. We visited Dole Plantation, getting the Dole Whip. So Diamond Head, it's a monument there, and I've gone to Diamond Head quite a few times.
Is that
already.
like a trail?
It is a summit trail that you can go to, and it gives you a beautiful view of Waikiki. And I'm like, I'm not going to go there anymore because it's not the easiest hike, but it's not the hardest hike. But because it was going to be the first time for half of our group, we decided to go ahead and do that. And by the way, if you're you didn't need reservations. So just FYI, if you want to go to Diamond
really?
Head, you actually have to make reservations. So good to know. Yes.
Yeah. And the kids were okay with the hike. Like it was doable for them.
Yes, yes. Even his daughter, who is 10, did wonderful. So we had 6 kids with us.
And what are their ages?
20 to 18 to 17 to 16 to 13 to 10.
Okay. So no little babies.
No little babies. Okay. And so when I say kids, I still consider my nephew who, 19, 20, a kid. So they left it up to me to kind of plan things out. They were all good sports. So we hiked Diamond Head. We saw the sunrise. So they were like, Auntie, do we really need to get up at like 5? I'm like, yes, because we got to be there at 6. And so you guys got to like start getting ready and blah, blah,
Did
blah.
Did they
blah,
end
blah.
up enjoying it?
They did. Okay. I think when you're on vacation, the assumption is that you just get to sleep in. Mm-hmm. And I think there's like a different energy that you get when you're on vacation and like there's things that you want to see. I thought it went really well. Once we did Diamond Head, we decided like, let's just hang out at the beach. We did kayaking. We almost died snorkeling.
What happened? Somebody drowned?
Almost, me. We decided let's do some snorkeling. We ended up going and the water was just so rough. And it was so strong that at one point when I was in the water, I started like freaking out. And so 6 out of the 8 decided to end the snorkeling trip. And so we stayed on the boat while my daughter, Vanessa, and her best friend, Daria, ended up continuing the snorkeling. But all of us just said, no, it was rough. It was so rough that they actually gave us not a refund, but they gave us a rain check that if we ever do come back to Hawaii, we would get a free snorkeling tour because it was so rough.
Yeah, you couldn't really enjoy.
Yeah, no. So that was an experience. Also, I've been to Hawaii a couple of times, and so the luau thing, I don't.
Yeah,
really
I think you experienced it once, but it's like overpriced food. You can go and get like street food for super cheap. Yeah.
Yes, and so like when we talked to the kids were like, no, we want to do luau. And we're like, what? And they were like,
because they've never done that.
And so the little kid, his kids have never done it. But even the bigger kids, I was like, you guys really want to do it? Like, yeah, it'll be fun. And we're like, okay, fine. So we ended up doing a luau, and actually it was a lot of fun. So all in all, it was just such a great trip. It was a great experience. It was great quality time with the family. Although I thought like everything was so expensive. Like we rented a Pilot, which sat all 8 of us, and God, for a week you're looking at almost $1,000 rental.
Everything is just
expensive. And then I do have to say the kids were very masubied out.
Yeah.
So
they're sick of Spam.
Yeah, they were so sick of Spam.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend hitting Foodland. They have some really good poke.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we had some really good food. We went to Helena. We always go to Helena's.
The Hawaiian food?
It's Hawaiian food. And, we always go. We got off the plane. That was our first stop before we even went to our hotel. So
even Zippy's, like the fast food, it's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So McDonald's was a very famous one for us for breakfast because our hotel was like right across the street. So all in all, it was like such a great trip, great memories. My nephews actually came to me and they're like, Auntie, when's our next trip? Right? Like, so they really enjoyed the time with us. And so I was really happy about that. It went by quick though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So from what I remember about Hawaii when I went 15 years ago that I loved is the vibe there. Everybody is just chill. Like we're from California, but we're still like hustle bustle, like let's go.
Oh yeah.
And I remember we rented a car and we were like, driving 60 and on the freeway, and some locals drove by past us and rolled down the window. They're like, "Where do you guys need to go? Like you guys are driving way too fast. You need to chill out." Like you just love how it's just so relaxing. And I just remember waking up like 7 o'clock in the morning, just walking out of the hotel and just having my coffee on the beach.
Yes. And I don't know what
beautiful.
It is. It's, they say island time. It is definitely island time. And I've gotten much better in regards to traveling. Before, when I was traveling, it always had to be on a schedule. Mm-hmm. And this time around, we had a little bit of a schedule, but it wasn't like, hey, we got to do this, go to this. We knew what we wanted to see. If it was in different order, it was totally fine. And I still did my research because there are certain places where, like I said, if you want to go ahead and hike the Diamond Head Summit Trail, you have to make reservations. And they go pretty quickly. Yeah. And my recommendation, definitely go look into it. I think you can book it 30 days. And my preference, because it does get hot, is get the first one. People think that it's so early. I'm telling you, there were some beautiful pictures that we took of our family because we saw the sunrise. It was super good, and like, you don't need much. Like, it's expensive to get there, without a doubt. The hotels obviously can be expensive, but you know, the activities, if you can just enjoy being on the beach with the kids, you just need like a $10 floaty. The kids will love it.
Yeah.
So
it's just crazy. There's like this big ass tortoise just swimming by, and you're in the ocean. You're like, oh my god, that's a tortoise. Everyone's like, okay, like, because they see it all the time, you know.
City folks, we don't see those kind of
like,
things.
That's a turtle.
Well, even like we went to the food truck area. It's outside. You have food trucks, and then like we see like chickens and roosters running around, and for us it's like, oh my god, because you know,
or you just gotta go on Story and King. You see that from the farm. There's chickens.
Really?
Yeah. On the street.
Oh my god, I think so. Like for us, we get a kick out of it because
like just chickens, right?
Yeah. So all in all, it was great.
I'm glad you deserved it. You with the new job and everything. So.
Yes. So it was a nice break. It was a nice family time, and I look forward to those moments and those experiences. So yeah, Hawaii is always on our list of to go.
Yeah, I need to go back.
You
definitely need to go back.
You should. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so many places to see, right?
I know. I'm like, I've been there, but there's different islands.
Yes.
But I definitely need to go back because I'm a beach gal. I love the beach. I can stay on the beach all day. There's just something about the beach in Hawaii.
And for me, I think what makes it work out is the kids like really enjoy being together. Right. So I think anytime you can have an opportunity to go with another family or a close friend, I think that's always super helpful.
I might just do a solo trip.
Girl.
Me and my solo trips. I don't know. We'll see.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, this concludes our very first video recording. Thank you for watching us, and don't forget we also have an Instagram, so please follow us if you'd like more, if you'd like updates on our podcast or video content, and hopefully you watch more. Bye.